Hello, Facebook friends. It's me coming to you with another piece of information. I had 3 different client sessions today, and one of the things I notice is there tend to be themes when I see people all together and they're all working on similar stuff. So, first I will say something that, should I do a different live for this? Meh. I'll save it for another one. One of my clients, my first client today, after I talked to her about what was going on with her and gave her some inspirational perspective, she was like, "Oh my God, you have to do a live video about that." And then I've just been running around all day. Hey, Stacy. So I'll do that in another live video. But for this one, this is it's not like a tip. This is just like good communication skills, but it's something that people don't think to do very often, but that really can increase your capability in communication, your understanding, but also up-level how people perceive you as a listener and therefore upgrade their trust in you. So it's basically this: whatever you do, whatever you say, ask for feedback, ask for impact. So, for example, one of my clients talked about how a part of her is concerned about going into an interview because part of her gets worried about saying the wrong thing and maybe causing offense. Like how we do, just accidentally kind of putting the foot in the mouth sort of thing, or just saying something that might be perceived differently than you mean it. And I said, what you can do with that is actually just ask them how that landed with them, and you don't have to say it all therapist-y like that. But if I notice that I've said something and, "Hey, Darren," and it's maybe the person listening kind of shifts their position or furrows their brow, or even just a part in my head goes, "That's not quite how I meant to say it," I just ask. I just say, "Oh, I notice I just said X. I'm wondering how that came across, or if that landed kind of weird. I didn't mean to say it in this way, or did that bother you when I said whatever?" Or another way to say it would be, "I was referencing these people, and I hope you know I didn't actually mean you when I was talking about people who share this trait," or whatever. In the example, like somebody was talking about a category of people job-wise that she dealt with at work. So let's just say programmers, and that all the programmers did something wrong, and so it made her job harder, and she realized she was talking to some programmers who did not work at her company, and she thought, "Oh shoot, maybe I kind of stepped in it there." And I said, "Well, then you just ask. Hey, I hope that that's clear, that I'm not trying to say all programmers are bad at their jobs. It's just that in this particular instance, this is how this worked. And, I hope that didn't offend you." And then you see what people say. So, that's basically the tactic. And I would say that whether it's in a job interview or whether it's in a social setting, all the time, asking for impact is going to get you more information and usually more positive results, because people like to know that you care about how you're impacting them, how you come across. So it makes you seem like a more caring and interested listener, and it makes you seem like somebody who's taking responsibility for how they come across. And so that's something that usually generates more trust, right? Like if someone were to ask that of you, "Oh, hey, I know I just said all this stuff, like, what do you think? Or how's that hitting you?" I think usually people feel like, and you probably feel like, "Oh, this person cares about my opinion. They're not just talking to a wall," right? I would also say it's important to do in our jobs in terms of listening for understanding and making sure that we understand. So when I do jobs for people, because I do consulting work on the side, and they offer me tasks, I'll say, okay, I hear that you want me to do X, Y, and Z. Is that correct? Am I getting what you're saying? And they'll say yes, or they'll offer a modification, and then I'll check again. I'll reflect back and make sure that what I'm hearing and understanding is actually what they're saying. And then later on, I'll check for that again. I heard you before say that you wanted X, Y, and Z, but now you're talking about B. Do you want me to still keep X, Y, and Z at the same priority and try to integrate B, or which one of these is more important? And then I double check for impact, for listening, for am I getting this right? So whatever I share, if I have any perception that it's not being taken the right way, or if I have any sense that there might be a miscommunication or lack of clarity, I check for impact. I check to see, is this landing like how I meant for it to land? So I'm curious if you do this already, what it looks like when you do it, how you say it, or if this is a new piece of information. Today, when I talked to 2 clients about this, both of them like, oh my God, that's so doable, that's so simple. And yeah, I love it when people ask me stuff like that. But no, I hadn't thought to do that in this scenario. So I was like, yeah, great. It's interactive. It makes people feel important and like you care about how they feel. So I hope that's helpful to you. I'm going to probably hop on another live and say the other thing that I was needing to say that my client wants me to repeat from her session. So it's a little something about time and the value of your life. So if you want to see that, then hop on the other live once I'm on. Have a good night. Take care.